I'm not the biscuits. Hey there. Results are here, and I'm a doctor, and my name is Jordan Breeding, and if it was backwards, my name would be Nadroj, which you wouldn't expect that. So if my boss comes by, can you just say I was awake when you got here? Anyway, welcome to another episode of Your Brain on Cracked, the show where I diagnose movie problems and explain to my mom and my boss how that technically counts as a job. And it's the only show on Cracked that has not called my references. So today I diagnose... Movies are full of people who suck at their jobs. Journalists work drunk, cops fail to catch any criminal more dangerous than a 6-year-old shoplifting Snickers, and doctors abuse their patients sometimes, I've heard. And I think that's if it's against the Hippocratic Oath for sure. But at least those jobs should exist. There are some movies out there that invent entire careers that don't make any freaking sense whatsoever. The primary villain in Jurassic World is Engine Security Chief Vic Hoskins, and we know he's evil because he wants Velociraptor trainer Owen Grady to turn his cute little reptiles into beasts of war.
The mother hen has finally arrived.
And we also know he's the villain because he's played by Vincent D'Onofrio, who probably isn't evil in real life, but he's kind of too convincing sometimes.
Take your shot.
Grady opposes Hoskins because he wasn't training his girl Blue to, kill and maim anyone, man. I mean, other than the several dozen people and at least one dinosaur. But no, that was just them doing the normal Velociraptor thing. That's not what Grady's actually training them for. Although this does beg the question, what the hell is he training them for? Emotional support? Dance competitions?
Dance off, bro. Me and you.
I mean, it's cool that Grady's pet dinosaurs seem as the alpha, but it's hard to discern any practical benefit to hiring a full-time employee who trains raptors to basically do nothing except not kill Grady. They would kill anyone else, but they won't kill Grady. That's it. I mean, he doesn't even claim any real control over the raptors, explaining, it's a relationship. It's based on mutual respect, bruh.
And I imprint on them when they're born.
So, I guess actually maybe he's a support human for the raptors? Like in case they get sad about how few children they're eating?
Luke with me.
Look, Engine grows these monsters in a lab, and the company's gotten so good at it, they built an Indominus Rex, a dinosaur that never existed before. They've got complete control over these beasts' genetic makeup, yet they still somehow allow them to be vicious killers. It almost seems like Grady's whole job contradicts whatever the scientists are going for. I mean, if they wanted chill dinosaurs, they could have just bred a bunch of scaly Pomeranians and called it a day.
You wanted this to happen, you son of a bitch.
Oh, Jesus.
Hogwarts is a big castle, and it's important that somebody cleans up every time a child dies or blows their arm off with magic but returns to school in 5 days so the media doesn't win.
Yes, well, that can sometimes happen.
In the past, a wizard has always done the job, but at the time the boy who lived shows up, Argus Filch holds the position. Now, Filch is a squib, meaning he was born to magic-wielding parents, but he himself is unable to perform any magic.
Oh dear, we are in trouble.
Which is weird, because most first-year students could probably take over Filch's responsibilities just in between classes. Someone spills some dragon semen on the floor during potions, Filch has to come in with some sawdust and a broom and scrape it all up, but Hermione could just pop off a quick Tertio spell and siphon it up.
Are you sure that's a real spell?
And all that's before you even get into the army of sort of slave creatures Hogwarts employs to cook and clean and steal rich people's socks.
Dobby is free.
But Filch has other duties, right? I mean, he's also in charge of making sure the kids aren't out of their dorms at night. I mean, if he isn't patrolling the halls, they might wander into a dangerous room and there's a creature there and it's taking a shit.
I was just sitting in the U-bend thinking about death.
But since Filch sucks at magic, the wizard kids all have all sorts of ways to get around him. I mean, some make magical maps that give the location of anyone in the castle at any time, others have invisibility cloaks, and others make potions that transform them into somebody with a later bedtime.
I'll be in my bedroom, making no noise and pretending that I don't exist.
And that's assuming nobody just blasts Filch with whatever spell they learned that day in Defense Against Authority Figures class. Now, the popular theory is that Dumbledore felt sorry for Filch, so he gave him a job and a purpose, but what a frustrating job to give somebody who basically has a disability. That's the real-world equivalent of making a handicapped person the janitor of an entire shopping mall, but they're only allowed to clean the floors with an angry cat dipped in Ajax.
You've murdered my cat.
Okay, say you're a white American going to visit China for the first time. You want to make a good impression with the locals, so you decide to study up on their customs and culture. But instead of practicing holding chopsticks or learning which Transformers movie is their favorite, you throw on a kimono and cut your hair to look like Kim Jong-un. That's essentially what the humans do in Avatar.
You ain't got no skills.
For some reason, the RDA thinks the Na'vi would be more comfortable talking to a brainjack Na'vi surrogate than just a regular human. So instead of putting on a gas mask and going out there and saying, hey, they send what appears to be the reanimated Frankenstein corpse of Na'vi warriors. The Na'vi are not fooled for a second.
Well, who'd you expect, numbnuts?
They immediately know this is a creepy robot man whom they should not trust.
What's your name?
The expedition's head guy berates his employees for failing to achieve this weirdly specific purpose of the Avatar program, and he tells them, you're supposed to be winning the hearts and minds of the natives. Isn't that the whole point of your little puppet show? If you walk like them, you talk like them, they'll trust you.
What the hell have you people been smoking out there?
And to be fair, I mean, if it worked for the Wayans brothers.
I won't bite. Unless you ask me to.
But that's like if aliens from another galaxy attempted first contact by building a synthetic human-like creature with dead shark eyes and the hand-eye coordination of a monkey that got into a bottle of Xanax or something. That's a straight-up horror movie. That's Invasion of the Body Snatchers, but the imposters are maybe twice as polite, but thrice as horny. The seventh time Don Toretto and his team of fast drivers decide to get furious, they go up against super criminal Deckard Shaw. Now, Shaw is the brother of the dude who Dom's team exploded into a coma in the previous film, which inspires a rampage, which results in the death of fan favorite character Han Lu. Oh my god, he's like so my favorite. I love Han.
What I look like, a zebra?
The crew obviously has to track him down and, you know, get revenge for T-boning Mr. Hamglue, but Shaw is one shifty dude. Gear shift. Nice. So they enlist the help of super hacker Ramsey, who has a program called God's Eye, and more importantly for this franchise, a great butt. The theory is that God's Eye can track Shaw anywhere on the planet now, but the problem is acquiring Ramsey's butt draws the ire of a crazy mercenary group. But the constant threat of death is a small price to pay for the power to catch Shaw.
The next thing you know, they're trying to impregnate your sister.
However, there's another way they could catch Shaw, like stand still.
This right here, my friend, happens to be the stupidest idea I've ever heard of in my life.
Everywhere the team goes, Shaw's already there. Like Shaw crashes Hal Shu's funeral. Crashes. But before Dom grabs him and goes pitch black on his ass, Kurt Russell shows up to make a tantalizing offer. If Dom helps Kurt, Kurt will help Dom find Shaw, the dude right over there, whom Dom was like 10 seconds away from killing.
Stick around.
Mr. Toretto, I'm here on the recommendation of a mutual friend of ours.
Kurt Russell's offer of help allows Shaw to escape. I mean, that's like offering to help someone catch their dog by throwing a bunch of firecrackers at it, then suggesting they break out the world's greatest dog catcher with the world's greatest dog catcher butt out of prison. Just do it yourself.
I got dibs on that.
Later, the team travels to Abu Dhabi to retrieve the God's Eye program.
I mailed it to a friend.
They secure the hard drive. Drive! But guess who the hell shows up as they're making their escape? Yeah, it's Shaw, baby! Again, they choose to escape with the tracking program instead of going after the guy they're hoping to find, who I cannot stress this enough, is right there. Shaw has been tracking them across the planet the entire movie, but the team inexplicably claims they can't find him without help. Even if Ramsey managed to get God's Eye to work, it was only ever going to show that Shaw was like hiding in the closet or waiting behind a plant in the living room. Crap. Did I say I was going to talk about Skull Island again? It's like 3 episodes ago. Has anyone else even seen that movie? My mom was right. I need to stop slacking and watching movies with King Kong. Wait, you know what? Kong is slacking. It expects me to believe that John Goodman's character is so worried he won't be able to find Kong. the biggest creature ever. They used to hire an expert tracker named Loki, Prince of Asgard, Odin's son, rightful heir of Jotunheim, and god of mischief.
No.
I mean, come on, Loki immediately asks, who or what am I tracking? But the answer, as we all know, is an absolutely friggin' massive monkey on a tiny remote island. Goodman doesn't know they're tracking a huge monkey, but he knows it'll be big. After detailing a previous encounter with a massive monster, Goodman's character explains that he's dedicated his entire life to finding massive monsters. If you're not already an expert in this highly niche occupation after 30 years, pretty sure nobody's gonna be.
Now there's a man worth talking to.
And even still, Goodman shows that he knows what he's doing because as soon as they arrive on the island, he bombs everything to hell with these seismic charges intended to flush huge creatures out of hiding, and yeah, it works. Was Loki somebody's unemployable nephew? I mean, why did they even hire this guy? They have a full military escort, including helicopters, explosives, Samuel L. freaking Jackson.
It's time to show Kong that man is king.
And Jackson's crew of Vietnam vets is probably as good, if not way better, at traversing jungle terrain than some animal trapper. Plus, they brought machine guns, so it's difficult to see what bonus skills they're getting out of Loki or how they can justify the insane amount of money they need to acquire his services.
I want 5 times that.
And anyway, Kong is just so big, guys. He's the John Goodman of apes. You can't miss him.
Forget it, Donnie. You're out of your element.
No, I put a checklist in here somewhere. Yeah. I was supposed to talk about dinosaurs dancing and the magic of disabled custodial work and our omniscient god. You get the idea. Just join me next appointment when I'll diagnose Butters. Just says Butters, so I guess just tune in for that. And definitely check with Kathy on your way out for drugs for your applesauces. Yeah, I think this is an unnecessarily pluralized grocery list, so. Thanks for watching that video or whatever. I don't really care because I'm a badass. I had a bad childhood. That's why I'm wearing this jacket. Anyway, subscribe, hit the bell. I mean, I don't care, but do it if you want. I don't follow rules.